Here is a smart robot vacuum with qualities to challenge the high-end players, and budget asked that everyone on the hunt for automated way to clean the house can afford. It's the Yeedi Vac 2 Pro, and yeah, about time to inspect. Hey, welcome to the channel, good to meet you, my name is Michael. What we do here traditionally is to inspect fresh and cool tech. Today, once again, we're on the mission to try to make our homes cleaner, but also smarter through inspecting the latest coming from Yeedi, which is called the Vac 2 Pro. It's one of these new 2022 models which have the ability for automatically emptying its dust box. So instead of just taking this out and putting the dirt away in the dustbin, it can automatically go to the optional station and do this hands-free. Full disclosure, I got the unit for free from Yeedi. I'm making this full review and I have no limitations about it, therefore we're going to take a look at the strengths, but also the weaknesses. We're going to pay attention to the hardware, the software and the firmware features. Then we're going to make a summary whether that's a really worthy choice about being the primary unit for keeping your home cleaner. As I mentioned at the start, pricing of this robot happens to be extremely competitive at the time I work on the video, because with all the features I'm about to showcase, Yeedi have discounted the Vac 2 Pro down to just $350. If you decide to go for the bundle with the self-empty station, it's gonna be close to $500, and this also is a very good deal given the notable price increase that we notice with technology devices these days. So let's unbox and show you how to set it up. Note that there are two separate packages, with the station being the optional accessory. The Vac 2 Pro arrives in this slim package, similar to what most other robot vacuums are wrapped in. Don't forget to check the user guide first, a lot of useful information in there. This is the water tank, pretty heavy, I guess the main reason is the technology used inside, which should deliver excellent mopping results. Then we take the Yeedi Vac 2 Pro outside this very nice soft cloth. Unusual design of the robot, looks like Yeedi have gone for a camera on top, and they bring the 3D sensors in the front area of the vacuum. I have good feeling about the dust box, mechanism feels great, quality has definitely been a priority when constructing this model. Here's the basic charging station, some cables, and that's what we get with the main pack. Optionally, you can go for the self-emptying station, which arrives in a separate box, another set of instruction papers, a pad for protecting wooden floors from the wet mop, a spare dust bag, and here's the station itself. A bit of handyman work has to be involved because there are 3 screws that you need to tighten. Not gonna happen with the included in the assembly screwdriver, obviously. The easiest way to put the station together is to point this connector to its corresponding location and then take care of the screws. As usual, I want to quickly brief you about the main technical specs, gonna help to adjust the expectations accordingly, and will also give us clues what to look at while testing. Suction power is rated at 3000 pascals, there's intelligent visual SLAM navigation, oscillating mopping, optional auto-emptying dustbin station with 2.5 liters capacity, 5200 mAh battery for up to 240 minutes total cleaning time. You can control the whole process using a smartphone app and link it to your smart home assistant. The specs sound really good. In terms of suction power, it's more of a mid-ranger, but there are certain other functions like the 3D sensing system, which is more typical for more advanced high-end modules. Still, if you're choosing this as a first robot vacuum at home, that's gonna be a superb device. Now, in terms of design, at the bottom area, you can see here that's the side brush, one side brush, which is a better option as opposed to 2 side brushes, because very often they would just push away part of the dirt. It's a very decent mid brush here, which is perfect for pet hair and for high carpets, and also very well balanced wheels, which are also quite useful and come quite handy with larger obstacles. Now, I'm going to show you a lot of cleaning scenarios. Just wanted to say a few words about the thing that Yeedi are advertising the most, and that would be the wet mop cleaning. So inside here, I'm not sure if it's visible, but that's a motor, and that thing is capable of generating up to 480 movements per minute, which makes around 8 movements per second, guaranteeing that each and every spot it's gonna be treated really well. Now, time to fully recharge and show you some cleaning examples. I'll let you explore the installation guidelines yourself. Just make sure to follow the recommendations about distance to various objects. Pairing to the app is very simple. The robot has a Wi-Fi module, and you have to use the app to point to the wireless network at home and then make sure the robot is connected. Firmware updates may pop up. They are a good thing because usually optimize the algorithms. We're going to begin with the usual rice test. It's quite a basic test, spilling 60 grams of rice and checking how much the robot can bring back. The success rate here is pretty good, collecting more than 95% of the rice grains. Going further and dealing with the improvised mixture of flowers, seeds and small dirt pieces, Yeedi Vac 2 Pro continues to show very good performance, lifting almost everything that comes in its way. Important to remind you that most homes are not going to have their floors covered in that much of dirt. Pet hair and fabrics are also not a problem, with the mid brush playing its role. In that regard, I can well recommend this model for homes with pets. If you wonder whether high carpets are a problem, I don't think so. However, the robot must be without the mop, otherwise it may get stuck. I guess the most interesting topic out of all is of course the wet cleaning. I did some prep work here, which at my current stage of life is something like an everyday task, so dried stains of yogurt on the floor. Most basic mopping vacuums will simply go over them and slightly reduce their thickness, but the Yeedi Vac 2 Pro, with its oscillating technology, manages to not only scrub the majority of those, but also to entirely clean some of the spots. Everything related to the cleaning you can control using the smartphone app. It can adjust the suction power, the amount of water used during mopping. It's available on App Store and Google Play Store. It's called Yeedi and has a clean design, very advanced map editor, and sadly doesn't seem to work fine on Nothing Phone 1. Multi-map support is not present at the time making the video, but Yeedi promised to bring it soon. I still strongly recommend to avoid placing small objects on the floor if smooth operation is your priority. Still, if something wrong happens, the robot will stop and notify you that it's stuck. Back to the app, you're gonna notice options to define quiet hours, because if you use the auto-emptying dock, it can be really noisy when collecting the dust. Oh yeah, this is among the strong sides because it guarantees hands-free operation for almost a month. The way it works is that after each and every cleaning, the station will automatically collect whatever the robot managed to suck and place inside the dustbin. Almost maintenance-free and no more dirty hands after each and every session. The app also can show the battery percentage. In my cleaning tests, the robot has been consuming about 1% per square meter, which is a very good achievement and indicates a well-balanced about power consumption motor. If you decide to switch to turbo mode, the consumption is gonna be higher, of course. Before wrapping up, let me show you a list with the drawbacks and improvement ideas that I managed to collect. If you have high carpets in the room, you must remove the mop in order to perform the cleaning, and maybe the obstacle avoidance could have been a bit better in certain scenarios. After exploring all of this, I believe that the Yeedi Vac 2 Pro belongs to the really good and smart 2022 robot vacuum cleaners. You know, it has everything that it takes to be almost the perfect value mid-ranger robot, which has some high-end features like the 3D sensing system that we talked about, but also this amazing wet mopping solution with up to 480 movements per minute generated by the motor, which is integrated inside. So I think that's a very successful model, a bit different take on the implementation of certain features, and definitely very solid choice if you go for your first or your next really capable smart robot vacuum. Of course, feel free to disagree with me. That's why the comment section is down below the video, and in case you have other follow-up questions, you're invited to write down and ask. As usual, link to the product, more information about it, and some ways to support the channel are listed in the video description. And thank you very much for watching all of that. I hope all the tests that we have performed throughout this episode are good enough for you to decide whether that's the right fit and the right choice for you. Thank you very much for watching it. My name is Michael, and I wish you a fantastic day. Bye!